Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle. And if you need any more proof of that, the Indiana Fever exhibition game sold out in just about 30 minutes. So just about a month ago, it was announced that the Indiana Fever would be playing an exhibition game, preseason game, against the Brazilian national team, which would be taking place in Iowa's Hawkeye Carver Arena. The tickets went on pre-sale at 9 a.m. and by 9:36, they were gone and they weren't even available to the public. I personally was actually wanting to get to a Carver Arena game because I've never been, and I know that crowd, and a lot of you guys that are probably watching that video can attest to the insanity that the Carver Hawkeye Arena exhibits, especially for one Caitlin Clark. This is going to be a game not to be missed, people. And I just so happened to be out walking my dog when the tickets went on sale. Not that it mattered, because I'm just a member of the public here. I read that the tickets were only available to Kinnick Gold Society members, and I think it's like or one club level donors. And the tickets were supposed to go on sale Friday morning, but they're sold out. So I really don't know what they're gonna do about this. I guess it's just kind of like one of those missed opportunities. And you know, a lot of people are saying they need to move this to a stadium because there's no doubt in Iowa, if you move this to a stadium, it would be sold out. I myself am Brazilian, but you know, I can't say that I'm gonna be rooting for my national team in that moment. And you know who else is Brazilian? Damaris Dantas. So she better know where her loyalty sits. Here's the announcement that Indiana Fever posted to their socials when the news came out, saying, "Iowa, are you ready? We're coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena for a preseason game against the Brazilian national team Sunday, May 4th.
Exciting news, Fever fans. We are coming to Iowa City. We are thrilled to announce that the Indiana Fever will face off against the Brazilian national team in a preseason exhibition at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Caitlin Clark makes her return home to the University of Iowa on May 4th.
And of course, Caitlin Clark responded with her legendary one-word mic drop, yes. Now, if there just so happened to be anybody watching this video that is going to that game, feel free, if you so wish, to follow me on Twitter under Rosalina Lee. I'll put it in the description, and send me your live video, because that would just make my day, that would make my year, that would make a lot of the world to me. And if you want, I can use it in my content, and I will give you a shout out. And this is really exciting news, people. And you know, Chineo Ogumike said it best. Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle. I'm actually unsure if this is going to be televised. I'm hoping that it is. I'll start looking into that and I'll update you guys on all that information. I just wanted to get the news out right now, as this is very exciting, very breaking news, and pretty crazy that it's sold out in like just over 30 minutes, not even to the general public, kind of like her Wilson basketball selling out before it was announced to the general public. Everything Caitlin Clark touches turns to gold, and truth be told, I gotta wonder how Dewana Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, Sophie Cunningham are dealing with this, and how excited they must be, because this is going to be like nothing else they have probably ever been involved in. The absolute sheer like decibel level of Iowa Hawkeye Arena is probably gonna pump them up. I mean, I hope it's gonna pump them up. And I'm really, really looking forward to them having experiences, because after Dewana Bonner being in Connecticut, Natasha Howard having been in Dallas, I'm sure Sydney Colson has a little experience with a really pumped up crowd, because those Aces fans, they do pop off. Sometimes not in the best way for Dearica Hamby, but you know, the Aces were, you know, two-time champs, and the Las Vegas Aces fans have like a big presence. I actually forgot who it was that said this, but they basically called the Iowa Hawkeye Carver Arena the sixth man of the team, and I cannot disagree, because the injection of energy that that crowd puts into the team must be so important and such an impact on what they do on the court. I mean, Juju Watkins mentioned how like affected the USC team were by the Iowa Hawkeye Carver Arena, and it just so happened that the Iowa Hawkeyes upset USC last week or a little bit before that, and took over that game. I know that Gainesbridge Arena does like go crazy for the Indiana Fever now, but I do wonder if it's at the same level as the Iowa Hawkeye Carver Arena. I think I'm going to make it a point to get to Indiana, of all places, as a vacation destination this coming season, because I live in New York and I did go to Fever games. I'm actually traveling to Los Angeles for a Fever game in August, but I gotta say, the New York crowd, they also stand on business for their team. Barclays, like, they're a really great crowd for the Liberty, and as a former Liberty fan, and I'm still a Liberty fan, but I was cheering for Caitlin Clark and felt kind of, you know, alone in the crowd. And oh man, that was kind of a heartbreaker of a game for me, because that was the game that Caitlin Clark only scored one bucket, one three-pointer, but I am determined to see a 30-piece this season. We can all be so fortunate to be living in a time of such change, of such big, enigmatic, generational talent existing in a time that we are alive. At least that's how I feel. And I was a fan of the WNBA beforehand, and I do love the WNBA. I do love other teams. I do love other players, but Caitlin Clark playing in Iowa really changed my view on looking at basketball, and what that girl did and what she is doing now is something that I have never seen in the game, and I cannot look away from. I've always been a big fan of the Louisiana teams, as I was born in Louisiana. But after the first time I saw Caitlin Clark was like an injection straight into my body, and I never turned back. So it was a big go Iowa for me from then on. Because also, who doesn't love an underdog story? And Iowa was the ultimate underdog in college. And if you need any more proof of just how magnetic she is to watch, there is a clip that was going around yesterday, because it was 2 years ago to the day that she just nailed and drilled the ultimate buzzer beater against Indiana to come back from being behind by a point to take that game. And every time I see this clip, I watch it at least 10 times. I like scroll in and I look at everyone's reaction, because this was just one of those like moments in history that I know anybody that was watching that game, and especially anybody that was in the stands, will never forget this.
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires. And it goes! She hit it! Wow!
And really, for everyone that is going to that game, I salute you, and I am envious as all get out.